else to get united. Like, what we gotta do is meet everybody on 149th Street at the bench.
Hey dudes, today's video is a little bit twofold, because not only do I want to talk to you guys about new graffiti artists using the word toy, but also a little bit to do with beef as well. And that's gonna come in the form of a story about, well, myself and my own personal experiences back when I was a complete and total moron, and so that's where the two topics come in. And this video actually comes to us from a conversation I had with Rage 2. Him and I were talking about beefs, we were talking about how stupid beefs are in general, but most of all, how stupid it is from new graffiti artists specifically. So way back in the day, when I very first started getting mentored by Demmer, at this point in the story, I had already been doing graffiti for 6 years, and I still was toy. I still sucked at graffiti back then. Back then, you didn't have YouTube in order to go ahead and teach you everything that you can possibly know. There was nowhere to really get this kind of information about graffiti, and you had to learn all of it on your own. And as a result, learning took a lot longer. The amount of resources out there to learn from were pretty much reserved to just having a mentor, and then you had to hope that your mentor was good, and then you had to hope that they also knew how to teach, otherwise all that good skills that they had were completely locked away in their brain and there was no way they were going to teach it to you if they sucked at teaching. But I was lucky enough in order to have Demmer as a mentor, and he was a phenomenal mentor, and I began to kind of gain a little bit of skills here and there, but make no mistake, I was still in the beginning processes of learning. I had only just gotten mentored by Demmer. I wasn't there for very long at the point of the story. So there was this dude who I didn't like for some reason, I can't remember why, but he had a canvas in Demmer's shop, and I saw that thing, I was like, dude, this guy's piece is toy. This guy's piece sucks. He's a toy, he's trash, he's garbage. I can battle this dude and win. And Demmer put a stop to this immediately. Now, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I'm paraphrasing here. He essentially was like, dude, you're stupid. You're not beating anybody in a battle, certainly not him. And he was right. No matter how I felt about this guy's work, he was factually good. You see, back then, I was 100% that new graffiti artist who's starting problems with people I have no business starting problems with. And what I didn't realize back then, and what most people don't realize when they first start off graffiti and they're starting up these beefs, is these beefs in your early career are useless. Nobody cares. More experienced graffiti artists are looking at you and they're laughing because your work sucks, you think it's good so you don't even realize that it sucks, and you're stupid with the things that you do as far as getting up is concerned. So they have no reason to respect you, and the fact that you're going around insulting people, calling people toys when you yourself are still new to graffiti and don't even know what a toy really is, and all of your claims are senseless and have no facts or evidence in order to back it up, they're laughing at you. You're not getting anybody's respect for starting these beefs. And what's even funnier is the only people that are giving you respect for these beefs are other new graffiti artists whose respect doesn't matter. A lot of people, when they first start graffiti, they think graffiti is all about the competition. They think it's all about bringing other people down in order to lift yourself up, as opposed to leaving that person wherever they are and bringing yourself up to their level or beyond. Nobody's ever been better by bringing others down. That's not how it works, and it's no different for graffiti. So the beefs that new graffiti artists inevitably start when they first start off in graffiti are really useless. I think new graffiti artists, they believe their beefs are a lot more severe than what they actually are. They take it a lot more seriously than what they actually should. And it's funny, man, because I talk to literally thousands of people through DMs on Instagram, and sometimes people hit me up and they're real serious about their beefs. They're like, oh dude, I'm in high school and golly gee, I'm a little afraid because I got a beef with this man and he might kill me. And then you look at the dude he's beefing with and it's just some dude who at worst is gonna make fun of the baby fat on his cheeks. And it's like this, you don't got anything to worry about. At worst you're gonna get punched in the mouth, and that's about it. Now, make no mistake, I know people do die over graffiti. I know for a fact. But when we take the amount of people telling me that same story versus how many murders are actually happening over graffiti, it's a little, something doesn't quite add up. There's this habit from new graffiti artists in general, throughout time, to always act a lot harder than what they actually are. And I think that also plays into a totally different topic that can be its own entire video, but I think that plays into the whole entire thing of graffiti artists using graffiti in order to gain confidence, which is something I've heard thousands of people tell me. You have this person who isn't confident, they got a weak personality, and they might even be weak physically. They're self-conscious and they use graffiti in order to gain that confidence they don't have, and they do it through this hard facade that otherwise is completely smoke and mirrors. That's a lot of the graffiti populace. That's the majority of graffiti artists. And obviously you do got graffiti artists who are some hard dudes, you know, that sounds a little suggestive. That's definitely not the majority. The majority of graffiti artists are just some average dudes who are looking to draw letters and that's it. So this whole entire fake tough dude attitude is really excessive in most cases for these beefs, especially the early on ones. New graffiti artists also suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect. This has been happening for as long as graffiti's been around, and it will continue to happen for as long as graffiti's going to be around. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a plague in graffiti. But new graffiti artists are particularly interesting in this regard because they allow the Dunning-Kruger effect to get them into trouble. They allow the Dunning-Kruger effect in order to get them into these beefs. And the Dunning-Kruger effect also causes them to go ahead and show a lack of appreciation for those who came in the past. It's extremely common for a new graffiti artist in order to talk down on previous legends. They'll go ahead and look at Taki 183's work. They'll go ahead and look at Tracy 168, Stay High 149, or Baby, or any of the other countless old school legends, and they are glad to go ahead and say, that guy's a toy. And it's like, dude, what do you think you built all your stuff on? The guy you're biting learned from these dudes. And you know what, on that topic, did you ever notice that? You ever notice how it's those new graffiti artists who talk down to others and fling around the term toy? It's always those dudes who don't know the fundamentals, therefore don't have their own style, therefore bite other people, oftentimes the ones that they insult. It's a little ironic how that works, isn't it? Or maybe there's no irony at all and it's really obvious. I think once you become more experienced, you end up realizing that graffiti can be a lot more chill than what people give it credit for. Graffiti is oftentimes seen as a really combative experience, and obviously there is that aspect of it. But something Rage 2 and I both echoed, and something that we were talking about, was how as you age, you just don't really care about the more immature and nonsensical parts of things. And it allows you in order to take a little bit more of a relaxed position. Some new graffiti artist goes over your work, doesn't really matter as much. Maybe when you were like 15, 16, you would, you know, blow a gasket over it, but as an adult, it's not really something that you're gonna care about too much. You know, your whole entire career outlasts that kid's entire life. So like, are they really holding a candle to you? Are you really threatened by the toy going over your work? Not so much. Not even a blip on the radar. If you're an experienced graffiti artist who's pretty chill and respectful, well then, no one's really gonna be starting beefs with you anyway. Even other graffiti artists would lay off your work. They'd respect the grind that you've put forward so far, they'd respect the skill of your work, and they're typically not gonna go over it. Let me know what you guys think about this though, especially you more experienced graffiti artists. How do you feel about beefs? And when I say more experienced, I'm talking like 15, 20 years in. And I wanna hear from you newer graffiti artists as well. Let me get your perspective on things, because I think that's gonna be very important for this conversation. And if you are new to graffiti, do you think this video has changed your perspective on anything? Did it help you realize that your beefs probably aren't as serious as what you think they are? Let me know in the comments down below, but check it out. If you're new here, check out this playlist right here. It's the best how to do graffiti tutorial playlist online. I can't think of words. I can't think of how to go ahead and say this sentence. My apologies. I almost fumbled that entire thing. We also got this playlist right down here. This is just some more graffiti content you can go ahead and enjoy. But dudes, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next week.